Mr. Hensarling.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Gentlemen, no reason you should remember everyone's opening comments, but several aspects of your request that trouble me. One is, if you, then who doesn't get the money? Can you name me 3 industries in this economy that aren't hurting, that couldn't use $34 billion? I can't think of them. I've had home builders in my office, talked to representatives of the airlines. The largest poultry producer, I believe it was the largest, perhaps second largest, Pilgrim's Pride, not located in my congressional district, but nearby, just filed for Chapter 11. 50,000 jobs in East Texas being threatened. So I wonder what the standard is. Is it simply because you're bigger or perhaps in more pain than other industries in the economy? That troubles me. So if we say yes to you, who do we say no to? I ask this somewhat rhetorically. I assume I know the answer. I assume nobody at the table has ever heard of Williams Paint and Body Shop in Mesquite, Texas. Hadn't heard of Jacksonville Industries in Jacksonville, Texas. Hadn't heard of the Kennis Framing Contractors in Chandler, Texas. My assumption is you haven't heard of these businesses. They're small businesses located in the 5th Congressional District of Texas. One has unfortunately failed. The other 2 are struggling in this economy. So the second question I have about your request, given that small businesses create 3 out of 4 jobs in America, if the purpose of Congress is to try to help our economy, save jobs, create new jobs, why should you get the $34 billion and not small business? Or is it only the small businesses that service the auto industry that should be recipients or beneficiaries of this money? If anybody cares to address that, I'd like to hear it.
Well, let me try.
Mr. Nardelli, please.
Let me try, please. I don't think anybody's been immune from this financial crisis that we're going through today in this economic trough. I certainly understand your point of view, and as we look at, from our perspective, the auto industry, I think at least one of the companies you mentioned is in fact impacted by the auto company or in support of the auto company. If you look at, again, I look at our business, our dealers, 3,300 of them are small businessmen and women. These are very comparable to the examples that you gave us. And the only point I can offer is that a strong OE, in our case, there's about 1 million people depending on Chrysler's success. And so I'm certainly not justifying because we're bigger. I'm merely presenting the point that we may have a broader impact across the country, sir.
Let me ask another question. There was a report on CBS News last night that you gentlemen have spent roughly somewhere north of $50 million on lobbying fees for the first 9 months of this year. I don't know if anybody cares to challenge the accuracy of that report. If not, I would simply point out that the 3 businesses, small businesses in my district certainly don't have that advantage. I don't begrudge you your constitutional right to petition your government for redress. That's not my point. But my point is, clearly we've heard of your name. Clearly you have people that you can afford to represent you in Washington, D.C. A small business can't. So something strikes me as patently unfair. But I do have a specific question about the lobbying fees. Can any of you tell me what portion of those fees were used to lobby Congress to remove the restrictions on the money that is already in the pipeline versus trying to get the additional $34 billion?
I don't know. Zero. Yeah. I've been given a number of 0, sir.
0. 0 has been spent on either this, trying to reprogram the earlier money, or to get this additional money?
I'm sorry.
Or 0 has been expended, I'm sorry, Mr. Nardelli, 0 has been expended where?
I think your question was how much has been spent on reprogramming money?
I thought it was an either-or question as far as how does the $50 million break down?
Okay, so let me get back. I don't know, sir. I don't know the answer to that.
Thank you. last question. I know my time is running out here.
It's about out. 3 seconds.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I will yield.